All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic as always. In today's video, we have an interesting one. This is a subscriber requested video. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about each of the Yieldmax funds, and I'm going to be going through exactly how much they distributed in the month of August and kind of just my general thoughts about each stock and what I kind of see for the future about them. So if that does sound good, I hope you guys stick around to the end of this video. Without further ado, I got to say a little shout out to Victor Wolf E8333. You probably knew this was coming, Victor. Victor said, why not for the next video, why don't you make a video on the dividend payouts for each of the Yieldmax funds? And I was like, bro, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. Thank you very much, Victor. And yes, I hope you're going to enjoy this video. And without further ado, I just want to say I got a comment saying I need to make my little subscriber checks a bit quicker. So we are up to 1,661 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. And thank you to everyone who contributed to this #1 of 10 video, this top 10 #1 video with 118 likes and 52 comments. You guys are doing amazing with the comments, so keep them coming and I will keep responding. Thank you very much. So today we're going to talk about the 4 Yieldmax ETFs that did pay a dividend. Unfortunately, AMZ didn't pay a dividend. They will probably pay in September just due to the fact that they don't really have that much time to collect those covered calls, synthetic covered call strategies that Yieldmax is doing. Now, for each of the Yieldmax funds, as you guys know, Yieldmax, whether it be Tesla, OARK, APLY, or NVDY, for NVIDIA, they all cover an underlying stock, and they are an option income strategy that is actively managed and writes covered calls on their underlying stocks, whether it be Tesla, OARK, as I mentioned before. Now, all the Yieldmax funds, they do pay monthly, and they have varying dividend yields. As you can see, TSLY with the highest one at 60% roughly. Then we have OARK at roughly 50%. APLY going at 30%, and then NVDY at 40 to 43%, somewhere about there. Now, I did talk a little bit about TSLY's dividend, and I explained it in this TSLY reinvestment video right below here, so please do check that out after this video if you are interested. I'm just going to go over it super quickly here in this video. So TSLY actually paid an 83-cent dividend, or will pay, on August 14th, and TSLY is an interesting stock chart to look at because, as you can see at the MACD right here, it's approaching that halfway point. And when the MACD approaches that point, it is either going to continue on that uptrend or it is going to reverse to that downtrend. And going to their chart, you can see Tesla did actually have a bit of a pullback in the past couple weeks now. And that is reflected in TSLY's stock prices. TSLY is now trading at about $15.70. I'm not sure if it says it on here or not. It says the closing price $16.65, but due to that dividend, it will be down today to about $15.80. So there could be a potential opportunity in TSLY. If Tesla does reverse to that downside, then there might be more downside to TSLY and Tesla. So just a note to keep in mind if you are looking to invest. Now, looking into OARK, let's see what their dividend was. And just looking actually at, sometimes this is good to look at the trends, but for the most part, all the stocks here are looking pretty much the same. ARK Invest had a little bit of a run up, which should have produced a pretty decent dividend here. So as you can see from, we'll say June 30th, about here, $44.14, and it had a pretty good run up till August 1st to about $50. It did backtrack a little bit, but that is probably after the dividend was paid. So OARK is coming in with a 68-cent dividend on their stock, which, as you can see, is actually one of the highest paid dividends going back almost 5 months now. Like, they did pay a 51% dividend, or 50-cent dividend. They paid the $76.74 dividend a while ago, but this is the biggest dividend payout in a very long time, and it shows just due to that price appreciation over the past month. As you could see, the past few months were pretty flat, and then it appreciated. So OARK is coming in with a pretty solid dividend there. Now going to APLY, which is the Yieldmax Apple option income strategy ETF. Apple paid a 56-cent dividend, so slightly down from last month. And just going to Apple's stock price, as you can see, they're all kind of approaching down to that MACD level, so there could be a potential reversal in the overall stock market. but that is yet to be decided when that MACD crosses. But as you can see, Apple was trading actually close to the $200 mark at about $195 and then had a steep sell-off in the past few days, currently down about 4.5% on the day today. Today is August 4th. So Apple's trading at about $182 or so, and Apple over the past 6 months has been relatively steady in terms of the incline of the stock. It's been on a great run over the past year. As you can see, it hit a low point of about $1 or $130 and then ran all the way up to basically $200. So in terms of APLY itself, APLY is kind of capitalized on this slow price appreciation. Obviously not in the first month, but in the second month paying 63 cents and then 55 cents on what is APLY? APLY is probably about a $21 stock right now. I'm just going to search that up. Okay, $20 stock. So it's actually not a bad yield that is not a bad payout for a $20 stock that is tracking a company with such a premium like Apple. So APLY might be another one to look into. And last but not least, we have NVDY and the Yieldmax NVIDIA Option Income Strategy ETF, going to their dividend payout of 81 cents. As you can see, you kind of see something similar to APLY. This was the first month was their lowest payout. Then they had a bigger payout in the second month and a slightly less payout in the third. Now, NVDY is going to pay out 81 cents in the month of August. And just going to NVDA, the underlying stock that it tracks, NVIDIA, their stock price over the past 6 months or so, as you can tell, it was on a pretty good run up, had a massive jump in the month of May, and that's probably why we've seen this 95-cent dividend. And then it's still appreciating in June and July, but it's kind of slowed down. And so that kind of what entails for this 81-cent dividend. And what I do think is NVIDIA might be approaching a little bit of a high here. It's been on a killer run for the past even 5 years, or even the past like 2 years, for example, going down to $121 and now being up to $445. NVIDIA might be reaching a high point at this level here. As you can see, it's kind of hit this point and then rejected a little bit. So we could potentially see a downside in NVIDIA, but that is still yet to be determined. So overall thoughts, just summing up the entire video here. So Tesla, I do believe there might be a little bit of a downturn in Tesla. So if you are looking to invest in Tesla, maybe you want to hold off for a little while until maybe Tesla reaches this $200 level. About there is where it could potentially pick up, or this $240 level here where there's a little bit of buying pressure. Tesla's currently at $255, so it's about $15 below this price. Now looking at OARK, OARK's been on a pretty good run. It could potentially actually rebound up to this level and break through, or it could retest this $43 level and go lower, but that is for us to see. Now in terms of APLY and AAPL, which is Apple stock, Apple had a little bit of a dip in the past 2 days of about maybe 8 to 10%, which for Apple stock is a pretty significant dip. But as you can tell, it's still a very strong stock. It has performed very well over the past 6 months. And this dip is just a little bit of an immediate crisis, as you could call it. But this could potentially provide a great opportunity if you're looking to invest in APLY and pick it up at a little bit of a discount before Apple begins to appreciate again. And then finally, last but never least, we have NVDY, which tracks NVIDIA. And over the past 6 months, it's been on a great run, just like Apple. Might be approaching that high and might see a downturn soon. So that might be a sign to maybe hold off on NVDY. But then again, I cannot predict the stock market. I can only give you the facts and what I see in my opinions. And these are my opinions on NVDY, APLY, OARK, and TSLY. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and you enjoyed diving into all the distributions and seeing what each Yieldmax funds pays. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you do subscribe. We're up to 1,681 subscribers, so please do so. If you haven't, thank you, and yes, thank you and only you, because you are watching the videos and you are doing awesome. Our last video got first out of the last 10 videos, so thank you very much to everyone who liked, commented, and with that, I will say I hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.